Let's Talk Kentucky. I'm your host and moderator, Sherelle Roberts. We're here with the Let's Talk team. It's Lisa Hyde, Kim Dixon, Susan Mills. We have an action-packed show. We don't have a minute to wait, so let's get right into it. Okay, so it's Coach Cal again. John Calipari touched down in Arkansas yesterday to become the new head coach of the Razorbacks, and they literally rolled out a red carpet for him inside the Bud Walton Arena. So we said goodbye to Cal. They said hello. They did this thing called the calling of the hogs and all that. So Cal, you see it here. It was a big celebration. It's not as cool as if it would have been blue.
Of course.
You know. Yeah. But, all right, so Cal is gone. The end. Not really. Because yesterday, there was a report, there was a tweet that came out. The Coach Cal did a little interview with a news outlet called The Athletic, and here's what he had to say. Let's pull up this tweet. So it's very small, but it says this. I got to go over and look at it. It says, John Calipari says at Arkansas, NIL will be ready for him. He doesn't have to go out and do it anymore. And this is the quote. It says, the other thing to change is figuring out our roster, and you have to go in now and have NIL ready, which the school will do. I don't have to go out and do it anymore, which I had to do at Kentucky. Ooh, okay, Jeff Piecoro is on the phone with us because he is going to chat it up with us about this. So, first of all, ladies, how do you read that reported quote from The Athletic?
Arkansas is better than Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it's saying. And, you know, and he said, and he also made mention, too, in his interview that he went to meet with the team. He goes, there is no team. So I have to start, you know, from the recruits I'm bringing in and all of that. So he has to rebuild, and he set it up where, you know, it's going to take a while to get this set up. He said, but that NIL situation is going to help him tremendously.
Well, he's got his chicken nuggets ready. Do we have Jeff on the phone, guys? Is he with us? Do we have Jeff? I don't hear him.
Guys.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Jeff. Okay, so Jeff, the chicken nuggets and the Walmart money is evidently a thing. How did you read that when you saw that quote?
Well, I think that what he was kind of talking about is he decided here at Kentucky that he would start what he called La Familia, and that was, you know, the family in Italian. And basically what he meant by that was all these guys, and if you remember, he sent a lot of them to the NBA, and this year their contracts added up. Just this season, if you add up all their contracts, it's over $2 billion with a B. $2 billion. So what he did is he went to those guys and said, hey, how about helping us out a little bit? You know, give us some money. I don't know how much they gave. I don't know how much he asked for. Susan might know. Talk to Cameron.
Maybe.
They gave some money. And what he's talking about is here at Kentucky, and when you look at it, you understand, because those are two of the largest companies in the United States. Tyson Foods, obviously, and Walmart. And, you know, they built a whole town there, Bentonville, just to support Walmart and their employees. So they have a pot of gold, basically, $5 to $7 million that the school said they would fund each year through the giving of just those two alone. And last night you heard the athletic director and you heard Cal both say, hey, we don't want to just lean on those two. We want all of, you know, Razorback Nation. And I think this is becoming a problem, not just in Lexington, but all over the country, that you're now asking. I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but now you're asking your fans not only to buy tickets, not only to buy, you know, seat licenses, not only to buy the parking passes, not only to join whatever club here, it's the K Club, to get your tickets, but then on top of all that, we'd like to give you to give us more money so we can pay our players.
Okay, so that puts it in perspective.
Crazy.
Yeah, that puts it in perspective. So I get that. Yeah. This is why we have you on the phone, Jeff. So Lisa does have one more question for you, and then we have to say goodbye, unfortunately. But we thank you, Jeff, because you have been our Sherpa through all of this.
So Jeff, let me ask you this. We saw that Scott Drew's family was in town yesterday here in Lexington. What does that tell you?
Well, that tells you basically that, and this happened a lot. This happened with Pitino's wife. They brought her in ahead of the storm that happened when Rick came in, to just show that, you know, they've never been to this part of the country. So they brought him in here to show them, look, this is a cosmopolitan area. Here are some great neighborhoods you can live in. Here's where, this is the university. Here's, just the basics of Lexington. And you're trying to get them to say, wow. And here's the thing, guys, and I'm not knocking Waco, at all, but it is in the middle of nowhere. Okay? There ain't a whole lot there. But we will see just how this works out. But it's going to be crazy. We'll know today. I know there's supposedly a press conference sometime today to tell us yes or no.
All right.
Okay, that's what we want to hear. Jeff, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We're going to have to bake you cookies or something. All right, love you, bye. All right, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we have an action-packed show today. First, we'll be hearing from some folks about a debutante ball that's coming up. Very exciting. Stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. Joining us at the table is Dr. John Offit with the Lexington Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Welcome!
Thanks for having me today.
We're so glad to have you here. So you are here to tell us about your upcoming Delta Debutante Scholarship Program. Tell us a little bit about it.
So our scholarship program in Ball is a 6-month program designed to motivate and encourage high academic achievement among our young high school ladies in the African American community primarily, as well as to develop social and professional etiquette within the workshops, as well as ensuring that there are opportunities for community service for them to have, ultimately leading in the culmination of the ball, which is that culminating, exciting event after all the 6 months of hard work.
Wow. So what happens in the lead up to this ball?
So with that lead up, they're able to attend workshops as well as fun activities. They get to choose an activity that they want to have, whether it's bowling or skating, something to get them to know one another because they come from schools from all across the county. And then they're able to do those programs once a month to ensure that they have the skills necessary to help them with their academic and professional success after high school.
This is a wonderful program. How many debutantes do you have this season, and what is the long-term impact on their lives?
So we have 12 this season, and our program has been going on since 1961, so we've been doing this for over 60 years. And so what we've heard from previous debutantes, myself included, I was a deb of 1988, is that we're able to have that social opportunity to continue our professional success, to be able to ensure that we're able to handle ourselves in that professional community, have a network of individuals that we never would have had before, and then be able to use the information that we get to impact how we operate professionally in college and then beyond.
Wow. And that is, so when I was growing up, I always saw debutante balls as just dresses and dancing and waltzing, which that's part of it too. It's like a presentation to society. So kind of walk us through what's it all for? What's the thing?
So historically and traditionally, it is about that presentation to society, where young ladies get to have their dress up in their gowns and kind of play princess for an evening. But again, it's the culmination of a 6-month program, and so this is a celebration. And so we like to say that there's nothing wrong with the foundation of tradition, of the balls, for those individuals to say what's it all for, to be able to celebrate and have a good time, but at the same time make sure that at the end of the day we're doing this to raise monies and scholarships for the young ladies, and this is just a celebration of that.
Talk more about the scholarship component.
So the young ladies are able to sell tickets to the ball as well as ads for our souvenir booklet, and so after they do their workshops and they get their educational information, they get their professional information, then they're able to sell those tickets, and the more money they raise, the more scholarships we're able to award. And so we look for our community to be able to help us with that success. And so we crown Miss Debutante first and second runner-up, but we want to make sure that all young ladies that participate participate are awarded scholarships.
You know, when people attend, what can they expect when they come to the event? What does that look like for people?
So when they come, it's a black tie affair, and so they'll come and they'll be able to have those 12 young ladies presented. They'll be presented by their family members. They'll hear a little bit more about the young ladies. The young ladies will also have their cotillion with their escorts. They get their young men to escort them. And then after the presentation and the awarding of the scholarships, there'll be a dinner and dancing, and just again, that celebration of the culmination of the program in and of itself.
It sounds fantastic. It really does. So for people that do want to attend, where do they go to find out more information, or how does that work?
So we have all that information on our website. It is www.dstlexky.org, and they can find information about the time and location. Our time is going to be April 21st. The doors open at 5 o'clock, and the program will start at 5:30. And so they'll find out more information about tickets and how they can support through general scholarship donations, as well as ticket sales. So you can find all that information on our website.
It sounds incredible. I love it.
Yeah, Dr. Oven, thank you so much. Good luck on the event.
Thank
It's
you so
always
very
great,
much.
so we know it's going to be great again this year.
Thank you so very much for having me and allowing me to share the information with our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you all.
Okay, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're going to tell you about an amazing spring festival coming up in Mount Sterling. Welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. We've got another guest at the table. I told you this is going to be an action-packed show. Joining us at the table is Candy Minnick from Mount Sterling and the Gateway Regional Arts Center. Welcome to the table.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
so I have to comment on something before we get started. We do this thing with our guests. I don't know how we do it, but we end up dressing the same. So we've got blue and blue,
Yes.
plaid and plaid,
Kim and
pink
I are
and
going.
pink. I just
blend
it's like
everything together.
it's meant to happen every time.
It is.
So you are not here to talk to us about outfits, but thank you. You joined the mind meld today. So you're here to talk about an upcoming spring festival that's going to be happening in Mount Sterling. Tell us about it.
So the Nancy Green Pancake Queen Spring Festival, this is our second annual festival. We kicked it off last year. This year, we've added some more interactive things that the community is really going to, I think, be excited about. For those of you that don't know, Nancy Green was born in Montgomery County in 1834. She was the first Aunt Jemima. She portrayed Aunt Jemima and was America's first living trademark, and she was born in Montgomery County. And so she left, Kentucky with a family, went to Chicago, took care of that family, and through the course of different things that happened, events, she became the first Aunt Jemima. And so she was, an entrepreneur, a brand ambassador for RT Mills that eventually became Quaker Oats. So beyond that, she was a missionary. She grew her church in Chicago to be one of the largest churches in the state.
Wow.
And she is just such a phenomenal human being and was such a phenomenal woman that we wanted to continue to highlight her. So the festival is that a way for us to give back to her. And so the festival is not just vendors, it's just not food and retail vendors, but we are doing things that are going to also highlight the young adults in our community because of her culinary background and her what she brought to the table. We do a junior chef competition. So it's all Kentucky Proud products, and we've got 3 different junior chef teams, and those kids are going to do a cook-off, and we have local celebrity judges.
Yeah, so so many things going on.
Yeah. So what kind of vendors are going to be there too?
So we're going to have food trucks, retail vendors, crafts, all kinds of different types of food are going to be there. We're going to have a chili cook-off. First responders are doing a chili cook-off.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, so in addition to the junior culinary competition, we're going to have the cook-off with the fire departments in town. So they're going to get a trophy and bragging rights, who's got the best chili, right? And so we're also going to be having a pancake breakfast that we will be selling in the Nancy Green booth.
Yes.
And those products are going to be donated by the local Kiwanis Kiwanis Club there in Mount Sterling.
Now, Kiwanis knows how to do some pancakes.
Yes,
you
they do.
always see Kiwanis doing some pancakes.
Yes, they're going to have their breakfast that morning, and then they close at 10, and then we kick off the festival at 10, and so they're going to donate their products to us to continue to sell the breakfast throughout
Love
the day.
that. Now, Candy, this is definitely going to be a fun event, and you've touched a little bit on educational things, but what else will we be able to learn and do as far as activities to learn more about her?
Well, the Gateway Regional Arts Center is also going to have an area where they're doing poetry and art projects. So students, local, and anybody in the state of Kentucky up to the age of 21 was able to submit art and poetry. And so then they will be highlighting those. They'll be on display there at the Courthouse Square. You can vote on those. They're going to get scholarships for whomever is chosen, and they'll be doing poetry readings. They'll have different students talking about their art, whether they drew a portrait or whatever that looks like. So we're going to have a lot of moving parts going on that day. So it's going to be something, I think, for everybody in the community. No matter what age bracket you are, you're going to find something you're going to enjoy.
I'd like to go back to that historical context really quickly, because this is the second year that you all are doing a festival in honor of Nancy Green.
Yes.
And I think that we know historically the Aunt Jemima character has been celebrated, and it's also been problematic for some people, to the point where Aunt Jemima was recently taken off the bottle.
Yes.
So I really appreciate that you all are reframing this as a celebration of her as an entrepreneur, as a community leader, and not just a caricature.
Correct.
Is that kind of what gave birth to this? Is the whole the controversy and the reframing nationally that happened?
That's what brought it to light personally for me. Born and raised myself in Montgomery County when that all came to light, and there was a lot of conversation about it. We felt that we had to make sure that she was still highlighted, and that her legacy will live on. And she was the portrayal of Aunt Jemima, but that's not who she was as a whole.
She was so much more.
She was a brand ambassador. She was an entrepreneur coming from humble beginnings, born into slavery in 1834, and then from rural Kentucky, and now she's on this big stage in Chicago in 1893.
It's amazing.
Making flapjacks, becomes the Pancake Queen. They coin her the Pancake Queen after this festival, and she sold 50,000 boxes of pancakes and was with that company for 30 years. In our opinion, Quaker Oats would not be where they are today and be the brand they are today without Nancy Green.
Absolutely
I know
not.
that's right. That's right.
Yes, absolutely. And Mount Sterling is such an incredible community, smaller community, but yet huge heart. If people want to attend this, where do they find out more information about it?
They can visit our local tourism website. Tracy Pierce, you guys have had her on many times. She's amazing and such a partner for us. And then also they can look at our website. It's www.thenancygreenproject.org. We have a scholarship program, which is primarily, the scholarship program is the foundation for the festival. So anything you can donate will go to local Montgomery County High School students. Last year we were able to give away, I think it was over $15,000, 7 scholarships, and we hope to be able to do that again this year.
Yeah, and if folks want to, they can take their phone right now, walk up to the screen, they can scan this QR code, and they can get more information, and they can get tickets. We like to make it easy. Yeah. Let's Talk Kentucky. We like to make it as easy as possible so you all can do that. Well, Candy, I'm just so excited about this festival, and I'm excited about you taking something that historically is like the American story. Yes. There are things to celebrate. There are things that we have to recontextualize because they're problematic. Yep. And I love that you all are doing that with this festival so that we can celebrate her, eat pancakes, learn something, and have a good time.
Right. Yes. We always say life's short, eat pancakes. Right, so
that's so true.
I love it.
Candy, thanks so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, everybody stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're going to highlight a woman we're talking about who's a super strong autism awareness and acceptance advocate. Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. We like to end every show by highlighting a woman we're talking about. And today's woman is Erin Sturley, and we are highlighting her as a part of our Autism Acceptance Month highlights. She is an autism advocate right here in Lexington. She is a registered nurse and a mother of 3, and one of her children is on the autism spectrum. And this has caused her to become a fierce advocate for all children with autism. And Susan, she really has so many connections in the autism acceptance community because of your books and the work that you do, and you nominated Erin.
I did. I love Erin. I've known her for years. Her family is just the sweetest family. She is one of those mama bear autism advocates. And Lisa, you know, it's like we just got to fight and advocate
right.
for our kiddos. And she does amazing things for her family and for the community. And I just wanted to nominate her. She was also the very first, she was the brave one, the very first one on my Autism Tribe podcast. I told her, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but would you want to come on and talk about it? And she said yes.
I love that.
So Erin, thank you so much for all of the work that you do. I absolutely love you, and happy Autism Acceptance Month.
Yes, thank you. So Susan, well, first of all, let's give a big hand for Erin. Woo! How did we do that? So Susan, one of the things that you raised when we were leading up to this, and we only have about 20 seconds, but I want to talk about it, is that depending on where you live, you might not have access to treatment or programming for autism. And I guess we're pretty lucky in Kentucky, maybe?
We are. Kentucky is a great state. We do have an autism mandate as far as health insurance goes, but every state is different, and it can be really frustrating. And that's why you do see families, like when they get an autism diagnosis, just as we did, we were in the state of Illinois, that was not great. We were paying about $3,000 a week for therapy.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes. And it's needed. So Kentucky was great for that. So
Thank you. We'll be talking more about this as the month goes on. Thank you, Susan. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. We had a great time with this. See you tomorrow.